Going to head to Lufkin, where Ted Cruz just took in front of the cameras, going to give some short remarks following his meeting with the East Texas Council of Governments this afternoon.
Judges, mayors, and just really listening to the concerns of East Texas, of rural Texas. And I'll tell you, the top priority in that room is my top priority, and that's jobs. Well, the message I heard is the people of East Texas, they want jobs. Want higher paying wages, better jobs, better opportunity. And my number one priority in the United States Senate for the past 11 years has been jobs, jobs, jobs. I love the people of East Texas. I love the values in East Texas. There are common sense conservative values here in East Texas that I think is right at the heart of who we are as a state, the great state of Texas. And I think our country nationally, I believe we're on the wrong path. I think we're headed in the wrong direction. And I think America would be a lot better if we could get back to the common sense East Texas values that make this such a wonderful part of our state.
And we've seen with the city of Nacogdoches, they're growing with Eaton and Cooper power systems. And, do we hope to see that more with rural Texas around the areas?
Very much so. And we need to see more investment in rural Texas. We need to see more opportunities. I'm the ranking member on the Senate Committee of Commerce, Science, and Transportation. And the Commerce Committee has jurisdiction over about 40% of the U.S. economy. And that's an incredibly powerful vantage point to be advocating for the people of Texas, to be fighting for jobs here in Texas, to be fighting for investment here in Texas. And that's critically important to the 30 million Texans that I have the responsibility of fighting for each and every day.
Is there anything you want to say to the church members and their family in Lufkin?
Well, I met this morning with the 12 kids from Harmony Hill Baptist Church who were in Niger, and they were there during the coup. And when that happened, they were there on a mission trip. I got to say, those kids, they're great kids. I had a chance to meet with them, high school kids. When I was in high school, I went on mission trips. My brother-in-law is a missionary in Haiti. My in-laws were missionaries in Africa, and going on mission trips is such an important way for people to reach out and spread the gospel and impact the lives, particularly of those who are struggling. And those kids found themselves in Niger in the middle of a coup where they were understandably concerned for their safety, and it was a dangerous situation. My office was involved in that situation from the outset. We were in communication with the church leaders, with the families, and engaged very closely with the State Department and working to make sure that the State Department was focused on bringing those kids home, that we were not going to leave a dozen kids from Lufkin, Texas, trapped in Niger in the middle of a dangerous and potentially violent situation. And I will say the State Department worked hand in hand with us to ensure we knew where the kids were at all times, and that we were able to work swiftly to get them out and bring them home. And so it was a great chance just to visit with those kids and to thank them for their courage, to encourage the parents. I got to say, I think the parents were more worried than the kids were. When you're 16, you kind of feel invulnerable to everything, but I think the moms and dads were understandably really, really worried. There were a lot of prayers here in Lufkin and all across the state that were being lifted up for those kids, but I'm glad we were able to get a success and bring those Texans home.
Okay. Anything about your visit to SFA later today?
Headed there shortly, so I'm looking forward to. I always enjoy being at SFA. They're doing incredible work. The student body there is fantastic, and so I'm looking forward to seeing the continued investments, in particular focusing on STEM fields this time, and so I'm looking forward to seeing their new investments in helping produce a talented, educated workforce. And SFA is critically important to Texas, but especially East Texas, in terms of producing really talented graduates who can go drive the workforce forward. My cousin's an SFA graduate, and it's a fantastic institution.
And then can we have you comment on a little bit about rural East Texas? A lot of the comments they see is they want to keep their people in the area.
Yeah.
They see a lot of younger people leave outside. So what are your beliefs? Making sure that these people stay within the area and also just not leaving Texas.
Well, look, the best way for people to stay at East Texas is for there to be lots of jobs. That the biggest reason people leave is they want greater economic opportunity. And so we've got to create an environment where small businesses in particular grow. If you care about jobs, and jobs are my #1 priority, you care about small businesses. Now why is that? Because 2/3 of all the new jobs in our economy come from small businesses. And so I know full well that Washington, D.C. doesn't create jobs, but Washington, D.C. can screw it up really badly. And if you want an environment where jobs are plentiful, the two best levers government has are tax reform and regulatory reform, reducing the tax burdens, reducing the job-killing regulations so that small businesses can grow and expand and prosper. And so I'm fighting every day for more jobs in the state of Texas. And I got to say, what we're doing in Texas is working. When I was first elected to the Senate in 2012, there were 26 million Texans. Today, just over a decade later, there are more than 30 million Texans. The reason is simple. For more than 10 years, we've had over 1,000 people a day moving to the state of Texas because Texas is where the jobs are. And we got to keep the Texas miracle growing, and we got to ensure here in East Texas that there are jobs that young people coming out of high school, coming out of community college, coming out of university, that they have good jobs, that they can go and get married and have kids and provide for their families. And that, if we maintain that pro-jobs environment, people are going to want to stay here in East Texas.